Guy earned his degree in political science at Penn State Behrend before attending the Duquesne School of Law. After graduation, Guy served in the U.S. Navy's JAG Corps, did a tour of duty in Iraq, and then ran and won a district justice position in Pittsburgh. Shortly thereafter, Guy won a state Senate seat. Guy is one of the most junior senators in Pennsylvania, yet he has already been the prime sponsor on more than a dozen bills and a co-sponsor of more than 300 bills and resolutions. He has also started self-defense and domestic violence awareness programs for women, has held seminars to protect senior citizens from fraud, along with other community service activities. Since Guy always seems to be multitasking, it is not surprising that he practices multi-sports too, which is why he's training for a triathlon. Congratulations, Guy.
Thank you, President Behrend. I really appreciate it. I just want to start off by just thanking everybody that was involved with making tonight possible. It just shows you how strong the Penn State alumni community is. And I want to thank my parents, my grandfather, who were nice enough to make the trip here to be here today, and Dr. Ralph Ford, who's the Chancellor of Penn State Behrend. Thank you, Dr. Ford, for nominating me. I truly appreciate it. There's two people who couldn't come here tonight, and that's Dr. Robert Spiel, one of my professors from Behrend College, who helped with the nomination, and Senator David Argel, who is not only an adjunct professor at Penn State Harrisburg, but also one of my colleagues. The two of them are not only great mentors of mine, but they're even better friends. And then finally, I just want to thank all the other recipients tonight. You guys are so impressive. And yesterday when we got to know each other, everyone just blew me away. But at the reception yesterday, and when I walk around campus and interact with students, a lot of people ask me why I went to Penn State, the Behrend College. And really, for me, what I was looking for when I was in high school was a small college that had a real intimate feel, but also that had a really heavy degree behind it. And I visited a lot of schools, and just nothing seemed right. There was just something that I couldn't put my finger on at every other school. And I ended up going to the Behrend College one summer. I was walking around, and my parents and I didn't even ask for a tour or anything. We just showed up on campus because we were visiting other schools in the area, and we just figured we'd stop at Behrend. And I ended up meeting somebody who was a staff member, and then he introduced me to a faculty member. Even though it was summer, there were some students around, and everybody was just so engaging, and everybody was just so proud of Behrend College. It got me excited. And I remember walking down the main drag where the Glen Hill Farmhouse is, and to the right is this barn that has our theater in it. And most people don't know what I'm talking about, but if you've been to Behrend College, you know exactly what I'm talking about on campus. And it was a beautiful summer day, and it just, right then and there, I was like, this is where I need to go to school. I made up my mind right there. I was just taken by the people and by the scenery and everything the college had to offer. And then right when I made my decision, I looked down and I saw this fire hydrant, and it had a pole on it. And the pole, I just remember being really, really tall. And I was like, I asked the guy that was walking around with it, I said, what's that pole for? I've never seen that. Like, we don't have those in Pittsburgh. And he said, well, that's so we know where the fire hydrants are when it snows. And I thought to myself, I'm like, maybe not. And I was like, no, you committed. This is where you're going. Just stick with it. And at the time, we had a saying at Behrend College. We were the small college with a big degree. And although Chancellor Ford tells me that we really don't say that anymore, it's so true. Absolutely true. We should bring it back, Dr. Ford, because it's a great saying. Because the education I got was small, it was intimate. I'm really good friends with the professors I had, even to this day. But we have the weight of the Penn State degree behind it. And even better yet, I get to be part of the largest alumni association in the world. And it just reminds me that there's a reason why we say we are. So now the other reason why I'm so happy about Penn State, and just like that, we here at part of the Penn State community, we belong to something that's bigger than ourselves. And I feel like all the campuses really pride ourselves on teaching younger people to think beyond ourselves and be part of something that's bigger. And when I was at Penn State, I took that away, and when I was in my freshman year, I really decided that I wanted to serve my country. I wanted to serve the community, and particularly that I wanted to go into the military. And again, Penn State shaped so much of that. As a naval officer, I worked in Iraq, and I was prosecuting terrorists in the Central Criminal Court of Iraq. And then stateside, I was working as a defense attorney defending wrongfully accused sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen. But a lot of times when I think about my time in Iraq, there's no way I would have been able to navigate my way around a foreign courtroom in a foreign land if it wasn't for Dr. Gamble's comparative politics class or his other international relations class. That education really helped me for what I did in Iraq. And then as a district judge, I served those in the community. I really focused on combating truancy to keep kids in school, really focused on programs for younger people to make sure they knew about the dangers of underage drinking and substance abuse. And then in court, I really worked to make sure that those who had mental illness, those who had substance abuse issues, I worked to make sure that those individuals had a bed in a treatment facility and not a cot in a jail cell. And that's directly attributable to what I learned at Behrend and the fact that being part of the political system is about trying to do something good, and that you have a duty to serve others and make sure that we solve the root cause of a problem. And today, as a member of the state Senate, there's not a day where I go by where I'm walking around thinking about all the mechanisms of government and how Dr. Gamble and Political Science 001 talked to me about political science, and now I get to see it work every day. And then when I talk to other elected officials, when I make a decision on a bill, I really think about Dr. Schneider's political theory and political philosophy classes, and those classes shaped me then, and they still impact my decision-making to this day. So again, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did both in the Navy as a district judge and as a state senator had it not been for the foundation that Behrend College provided. So Behrend College, this university, the alumni community, they all embody the ideals of service and community for us and so many others. And that's why I'm just so truly honored to have received this award. Thank you so much.